Hello and warm greetings. Time to present you the English news. 9 dead, 35 wounded in car bomb explosion in Nangarhar province. Based on the reports released, at least 9 killed in bomb attack and gunfire on government building in Eastern city of Jalalabad city. Multiple blasts in the Eastern Afghan city of Jalalabad have killed at least 9 people and wounded 35 others. At least 3 explosions were heard at the Customs Finance Department today in what appeared to be a coordinated attack. Atawullah Khogiani, a spokesman for the Nangarhar provincial government witness, reported a gun battle between Afghan security personnel and the attackers following the explosion. Media reports say the attack began with a side bomber blew himself up at the building's entrance in the city centre, allowing other gunmen to enter the building and start gunfire. Today's events are the latest in a string of attacks that have killed hundreds of Afghans this year. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack. Election observers and political commentators have warned the Independent Election Commission of Afghanistan and the government against decreasing the number of electoral constituencies ahead of the October election, saying such a move will have negative consequences on the credibility and legitimacy of the upcoming elections in the country. Some circles within the government are making attempts to impose the plan on the IEC to reduce the number of electoral constituencies or dividing the provinces into several electoral constituencies. Officials from the Transparent Election Foundation of Afghanistan, TFA, said on Sunday. This institution officials also criticized the IEC over their failure to form a media commission. Meanwhile, a number of political analysts have said that any attempt by the government to interfere in the elections could further expand mistrust among the public about the election process. Based on the election law, the government should have announced its decision 180 days before the elections on whether to hold elections with a constituency-based method or the previous method. Iraq counts votes after first election since Daesh defeat. Although the parliamentary election passed off largely peacefully, more than half of the nearly 24.5 million voters in Iraq did not show up at the ballot box, the highest abstention rate since the first military multi-party elections in 2005. Iraq began tallying votes on Saturday after its first election since defeating the Daesh group, with apathy rife for a poll. Some fear could start a tug of war between the United States and Iran. Turnout in parliamentary election was 44.52%, with 92% of the votes counted. The Electoral Commission said, which shows many of the roughly 24.5 million voters skipped the ballot, despite it passing off largely peacefully. Iraqis faced a fragmented political landscape 5 months after the ouster of Daesh, with the dominant Shia split the Kurds in this area and Sunnis sidelined. And members of one family were behind a wave of blasts targeting 3 churches in Indonesia, second city of Subh police say. At least 13 people were killed and dozens injured in the attacks. A mother blew herself and 2 children up in one church, while the father and the 2 sons targeted 2 others, police chief Teto said. Sunday's bombings, which the Islamic State group has claimed, are the deadliest in Indonesia since 2005. Mr. Karan Vayan say the family belonged to an Indonesian IS-inspired network, Jemaah Ansharat Dala G80. Reports suggested that the family may have spent time in Syria with the jihadist group. Thank you. That was a brief. Take care.